What is going on, boys? This is going to be a quick little trade recap of the trade that I took yesterday, which was Friday the 31st. Officially ended the month green, which is great. Not by that much, barely by anything, to be actually completely honest with you guys. I guess I can't really be super upset about it. Moving forward, I have learned a lot about my strat and things that I'm going to do better, and I'm very confident that I'm going to have a great month in February. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we ended green, right? I had a green week this week. I had a pretty good week. Ended up on the week just under $2,000. So that was, great. But yeah, February is finally here, and our first trading day of February will be on the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. And then we're going to go crazy. But yeah, probably going to do a little bit of a back testing video later today as well. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. As you guys know, I always mark out my zones on the 5-minute. If you have not watched my video on how I draw my zones, I dropped a video on it yesterday. Make sure to go ahead and check that out. Also, subscribe if you are not subscribed already. I'm literally uploading every single day on here, whether it be an educational video, a recap, or just anything. I'm literally uploading on here every single day. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Going to, continue posting as often as I am. But with that being said, on the 5-minute time frame, the only zone that I had marked out was this high right up here. I'll replay back to 9:30 market open, which was right there at this red line. First zone that I had marked out was this high, right? We had, not really here, but here, here, and here. We rejected out of that multiple times. I also pretty sure I had this low drawn out right here from here, here, and here. Two very good zones. I explained in that video that I like to always have my zones. I like to have one above where price is at open and one below where price is at open. And then I like to look for longs above here or shorts below here. Whichever one comes first. And then I also like to see 5-minute Hikinashi here on the right-hand side line up to take a trade. But anyway, 5-minute Hikinashi is green. We also opened up super bullish, so I take my entries on the 1-minute and the 2-minute. So we came up here, super bullish candle right off of open. As you can see here, we just ripped up almost 50, 60 points nearly as soon as market opened, closed above this zone. I was really confident in longs above this zone for a couple of reasons. One, because this was such a strong area. You could see that we were rejecting out of it multiple times for, a couple hours prior to market opening. Also, if we go out onto the big time frame, such as the hourly, this is the gap that we created when we had that huge dump from like the DeepSeek thing, AI, NVIDIA. Like, I'm sure you guys heard of it. It was like some $1 trillion sell-off type of thing. We created that gap right there. Now, this is a big area of imbalance, and it is a literal gap. Anytime gaps like this are created in the market, price is eventually going to look to fill it because it is imbalance. And we also had a lot of imbalance continued to the upside up here. So I was preferring to play longs. You can also see that on this bigger time frame, we are in an uptrend, even on the 5-minute. Not really necessarily the 5-minute, daily was just bullish. So on the big time frames, which I don't really look at, we were bullish. So I guess you could say that's extra confluence. I don't really take it too much into consideration, but I was looking for us to kind of, want to come up into this area to fill that imbalance and that gap that we had down last week, I believe it was. So anyway, we come up, rip up very, very strongly right as soon as market opens. As you can see here, this is now the 1-minute time frame. Perfect. Now that we have broke above my zone, I am now looking to take a long setup after we get a retest. So next candle, we come and retest and we close green. However, this candle right here, I could have taken it, but that's not a bullish enough. If this candle was to close, say, up here, I probably would have taken it. Just because that kind of was not a super duper strong candle, even though it was green, I wasn't fully sold on it yet, which I am glad that I didn't, because I would have got stopped out. That's another thing that I've been noticing with my strat, is kind of entering too early. And as you can see here, if I was to take a long right there, I would have got stopped out. We came back and broke below this zone, but I was still favoring longs as 5-minute Hikinashi was green and everything like I explained earlier. Anyway, we came back down and then ended up pushing back above this high. Now I was really looking for longs, because basically this just showed me that sellers tried to come in here and push us down, but then we got bought back up and were able to come back and hold above this high. Also, anyone that was in longs right here probably got stopped out, so you could probably consider this a little bit of a mini liquidity sweep, intraday liquidity sweep, whatever you want to call it. I don't really look too much, into that, but you probably could get away with saying that. Anyway, we close back above the zone, come in here and retest, and right here is where I actually took my entry, because as you can see, remember right over here, I said I wanted to see a strong push out of the zone upon a retest, and this candle wasn't necessarily super strong to me. And then you can see we kind of dumped out of it. Right back here, we broke back above the zone, retested it, had a red candle close here with a nice bottom wick, and then this candle right here is extremely bullish. As you can see, it barely has any top or bottom wick. So an extremely bullish push out of the zone. The 2-minute, really, really not good. However, I was looking at the 1-minute, and then right here as well. That's a very bullish candle, and so are these two following. I was very confident in this. I'm going to still give this an A+ setup. Like I said, I mostly look at the 1-minute. Anyway, I want to say that I actually got filled. Yeah, so I waited for a little bit more of a pullback, and I ended up getting filled right there. Had my SL right below this low, or pretty much at that low. If I remember correctly, I wanted my stop loss to be at this low, so I looked where I needed to get filled, and then I ended up getting filled right there. And then this thing ended up pushing up, and then we were able to hit TP right there for a 1.5R, 45-point TP, and then $800 up on the day, so which was, amazing. A+ setup. You can see right here as well. Even after breaking up here, we retested again and then pushed up back out. Really bullish signal here, came back down into that zone, right? I'm just going to move this out of the way so you guys can see. Right here, we tested it again, bottom wick, right here. If I missed this entry, I probably would have taken it here. All that, if you missed that first entry right there, kind of over here in this area, absolutely could have taken it right here. Your stop loss would be below the zone, and 45 points would have been right here, which also would have hit because this thing ended up continuing up. So, there was multiple entries here. Here you could have got filled. Here, like this candle closed, you could have got filled. You would have you would have came close to getting stopped out, but you wouldn't have. Right here, you could have filled 30-point SL, would have hit TP. Right here, would have hit TP. Even right here, that would be a little bit bigger of an SL if you're comfortable with it, or even right here. So you had a lot of opportunities to get into this trade, and I think that I got into it. Yeah, right there. So just absolutely amazing trade, to be honest. Looking back on it, kind of like what I used to do. I used to draw intraday zones. I probably would have had this high drawn out like that, and then I probably would have looked to take longs right here as well because, we just started this very clean uptrend, right? We have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, and then this higher low also happens to correspond with this high right here. So it's, zones, like you pretty much have to learn how you like to play with them, because after we broke above this, now if I was to look to take another setup, it probably would be like right here. That would be a little bit of a big stop loss for me, or I could even go right here, 45-point TP, that would hit also. But I was one and done yesterday. I think I'm going to only look to take 2 trades max per day, maybe even 1. Because on the days where I lose my first trade, I usually look to take a second, but on the days where I win, I usually am fine with just taking 1, which is something that I kind of want to be more consistent with, just looking to take 2 trades per day. It's just kind of hard because the way that I draw my zones is kind of only really made to take 1 trade per day. Like I just wait. So maybe I'll just start taking 1 trade per day. I don't know. I'm going to do some back testing. I'm going to make a video on it probably tonight or tomorrow. For sure, at least before market opens on Monday. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to do it. Beautiful trade. Price action was amazing. I really hope that price action is better this February. December and January have low-key been pretty rough, and I know a lot of people have been struggling. But the good thing is, if we're able to prevail, I didn't end up a lot on January, but I still did end up. So it's like if I'm able to prevail on a month, like on December and January, then, when really good price action starts to roll around, where we're having clean just moves like this every single day, whether that be up or down, I'm going to be doing amazing. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. I hope that this video was able to give you some insight as always. Just a little trade recap, absolutely A+ setup. A lot of you guys have been loving the strat and the sauce in the Discord, so I'm super happy to hear that. If you guys have any questions about it, also, of course, feel free to DM me on Discord, or it will be better if you at me on Discord, because I don't really look at my DMs, but I will see if you at me in chat. So do that if you have a question. Leave a comment and I will, I'll go over it in the next video, or I'll just reply to you. And make sure to subscribe as well. Hit that like button. Also make sure to subscribe to the podcast. New episode's going to be coming out on Monday. But yeah, love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great weekend. Peace.